We thought that Homeward He Who Caught the Wind was a light-hearted, funny and nostalgic event, but we ended up with quite a few shocking revelations that, to be fair, give us more questions than answers. Nonetheless, we did learn something new. We took a huge step toward fully understanding both Teyvat and the universe in which it exists. Today we're gonna mainly focus on what Alice told us, and honestly, if her appearing in a quest brings so much to the table, I'm terrified of what we'll learn once she's released. But first, this is a theory video and leaks are prohibited in the comment section. I will use information available in the game, but my theories and conclusions are not to be considered the official lore of the game, unless I got something right and it's confirmed in a later update of the game itself. Well then, pick your favorite witch and let's get this video started. Since I'm gonna leave the heaviest stuff for last, let's start with what I would define a key info Alice finally gave us. Klee's father exists. No more crazy theories about Alice cloning herself, Alice creating Klee through magic or alchemy, Alice grabbing a random adventurer from Mondstadt to play the role of Klee's father, or even worse, if Alice has a man then he must be dead, just because she will be playable and some people can't stand the idea of their imaginary girlfriend, well, mommy would be the right term here, having another lover. Nope, he exists and his name is Kleiner. Sadly, he encountered some trouble on another planet which delayed his return, and when the tourist plan messed up Teyvat's border, Kleiner couldn't enter Teyvat, so his vacation back home had to be postponed. Now, I've seen people saying that Kleiner must be an outlander, that he's not from Teyvat because he's with Alice, but that's wrong, because we've always known that he's a famous adventurer from Mondstadt. In the past, Alice was traveling across Teyvat, but when she arrived in Mondstadt, not only did she cause countless troubles like reshaping the geography of the nation, but she also met Kleiner. And when they had Klee, Alice decided to stay in Mondstadt because its freedom would have allowed Klee to grow up free to choose whatever she wanted to become as an adult. This all happened a few years ago because although Klee is a long-lived being, she's actually as old as she appears to be. Alice was already in Mondstadt, constantly followed by Jean and Amber to stop her from destroying everything in her path, when Ryan's daughter sent Albedo to Mondstadt with a recommendation letter, and after he had already become a member of the Knights of Favonius, Klee was born. Anyway, the other, probably more important piece of info we got is that Kleiner is a Seeker. We have absolutely no idea what it even means, so it's speculation and deduction time. Alice was given the role of sustainer of Teyvat's border by the Heavenly Principles, and she's also been around for millennia. Because the border is what keeps Teyvat hidden from the rest of the universe while also keeping the Abyss out, her role makes her so important and necessary for the protection of the world that she can freely reveal its secrets and its past without incurring in the wrath of the Heavenly Principles. Being Alice's husband must mean that Kleiner also eventually learned those secrets, and to be with someone as important to the world as Alice is and even starting a family with her might have come with a set of responsibilities from either the Heavenly Principles themselves or the Shades in their place, so Kleiner might have become a Seeker as a consequence of his relationship with Alice. Maybe he had latent abilities that made him suitable for the task, maybe he was given these powers, we can't know, but we do know that he is a Seeker, so there are others. As the title implies, he must have been tasked with looking for something on other planets across the universe. While we don't know what exactly he's looking for, we still have no idea what the Genesis Pearl is, even though we kinda received multiple hints about it in the Valurian Mirage, so maybe he's looking for something similar to either fix Teyvat or maybe the Heavenly Principles. At the end of the day though, what I'm hoping for is that it makes an appearance during this year's summer event, so that the whole family is finally reunited, especially considering that he was supposed to come back for a vacation, so that would make sense. Now, for a more complicated matter, we need to discuss Barbeloth's theory about the Abyss. According to her, the Abyss is the hatred of the fates that get discarded when a choice is made. Like making this video eliminated a future in which I never made it, so the hatred from that unrealized future could become the Abyss. This is an interesting concept, but also one that comes with a ton of questions rather than answers, as always. First of all, this all makes sense inside Teyvat, a world that revolves around the fate imposed by the Heavenly Principles, but how does that theory apply to the rest of the universe? We know that the Abyss exists everywhere. Skirk's civilization was wiped out because they unconsciously coexisted with the Abyss. Surtalogy leaves messages for Skirk inside the Abyss even though he's somewhere far away in the universe, and Alice said that the Abyss is constantly trying to cross the border of Teyvat. I think a potential solution exists, and it's a very easy one. Teyvat exists within a microcosm, a miniature reproduction of the real universe, a bubble universe enclosed within an egg, the borders that Alice talks about. This microcosm is ruled by the Heavenly Principles and the fate they impose on all things, and the stars in the sky, or fake sky, are rocks that contain people's memories that are involved in the process known as fate. If this is a miniature reproduction of the universe, everything that exists inside this microcosm should exist in the real universe as well. So there must be a massive Irminsul tree, the imaginary tree because it is gonna come up sooner or later, and as a consequence the fate of the universe should be a thing as well. Whenever a decision is taken on a universal scale, there will also be universal fates that aren't chosen, and their hatred might be what created the true Abyss that exists everywhere. Now, why is the Abyss constantly trying to get inside Teyvat? Well, you probably remember that the sun from Teyvat's solar system was about to die just like countless other stars because of the lightless end, the Abyss, and Nibelung left the planet to find a solution to this problem. This means that Teyvat was supposed to be destroyed just like the Voyager predicted, but then the Eternal Throne arrived, Teyvat was placed inside the eggshell and was protected by the Abyss. And it did survive, but that was never supposed to happen. A new fate that was never meant to exist replaced the correct fate that had been decided for Teyvat. This might be the reason why the Abyss is trying to take over and destroy the planet. If I'm even partially right about this, then Barbeloth's theory about the Abyss is correct but incomplete. The Abyss is not just the hatred of the fates that weren't chosen, but more like the hatred of the rightful fate that ended up being wrongfully discarded. In short, the Abyss is fate trying to fix itself. This can be proven by what happened in Alice's bubble during the event. Dvalin's correct fate was to be defeated by Varka and sealed by Venti, so what we experienced in the last day of the event was what was meant to be, the rightful fate of Mondstadt that never was, and as such it caused the birth of the Abyss inside the bubble. Why was that rightful fate discarded though? Because the Traveler's existence caused a disturbance in fate. He changed everything just by reappearing inside Teyvat. But wouldn't that also mean that the Traveler, just like the other Descenders, Heavenly Principles included, is the main reason why the Abyss exists to begin with? Could it be that a Descender is simply an entity capable of creating the Abyss? Could it be that being a Descender isn't really a good thing? This takes me to the last theory I have for this video, New Khaenri'ah. Lumine, which for me is the Abyss sibling, has recreated the ley lines of Khaenri'ah to give the nation a continuation to its story/timeline after the cataclysm, but as if it never even happened, and she's now looking for a place to release it into reality. Irminsul's ley lines can't be extended, and the Night Kingdom doesn't have the space nor the power to allocate a whole nation, so where could she bring back Khaenri'ah? Well, if you think about it, the only place that belongs to Teyvat but is not controlled by Irminsul's ley lines, that is inside the fake sky and that is close to the heavenly principles, isn't that the moon? Now, considering what we've talked about, what do you think will happen if Lumine actually brings back Khaenri'ah into reality? She would be creating a new fate for Khaenri'ah, the nation would suddenly start existing again despite having been destroyed, and the people would even be cured of Renova's curse. This is most likely why in the Travail video Khaenri'ah's chapter is glitching, because technically it's still Khaenri'ah from 500 years ago, but it suddenly reappeared in the present to continue its story from where it left off, so the glitch is more than justified. Anyway, if Lumine accomplished their goal, it would be the creation of yet another fate that should have never existed but that suddenly became a reality, eliminating the rightful fate in which Khaenri'ah was destroyed, hence it would inevitably cause the birth of another abyss, which might turn Lumine into the 5th Descender, finally giving her the right to talk with or fight the Heavenly Principles on their same level. And that's it, I hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and if you're interested in Genshin Impact Theory videos, consider subscribing. I have no idea what my next video is gonna be about, but I could resume the script on the history of the Knights of Boreas if it's something you'd be interested in, so let me know in the comments. Well then, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, over and out.